G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kaitlyn and I'm an American living in beautiful Sydney, Australia. Since moving to Australia, I've learned so much about Australian history, and one song that so many people had recommended to me is the song called I'm Only 19. The song is by Redgum. I've never heard it before, so judging from the title and the fact that this was recommended by so many people through my video about the band played Waltzing Matilda, I can tell that this is going to be quite an emotional song. So grab a bicky, grab a cuppa, and let's get right into this video.
Mum, Dad and Jenny saw the passing out parade at Pucker Tunnel with a long march from Gibbs.
Okay, so right away, this is something that I was not expecting. I thought this was going to be one of those videos where it's like just a couple pictures or something that goes by as the song's playing. I didn't realize that there was a whole music video to this. So, that's gonna hit hard for me, you guys, I can tell right now. But I also know from a lot of people in the comments that this song is about the Vietnam War. It's not about World War I, World War II. So this is a more recent song that's mainly about vets and Vietnam. So, this one's gonna hit a little bit close to home.
6th Battalion was the next to turn. It was me who drew the card. We did Canberra, Shoalwater before we left. In Townsville lined the footpaths as we marched down to the quay. This clipping from the paper shows us young and strong and clean. And there's me in my slouch hat with my SLR and greens. God help me, I was only 19.
Ooh. Damn, that has an impact. Oh, the old and the new. It's like this line in the band played Waltzing Matilda. And the young people ask, what are they fighting for? And I ask myself the same question. Ooh, you could see it in the eyes of this old man as he's walking by. Like, just, ouch, this is already going to be a heavy hitter.
From tower riding ginox to the dust of Newey Dad, I've been in and out of Shovel's now for months. We made our tents at home, VB and pin-ups on the lockers, and an Asian orange sunset through the scrub. And can you tell me, doctor, why I still can't get to sleep? And night time's just a jumbled up and a barking M16. And what's this rash that comes and goes? Can you tell me what it means? God help me, I was only 19.
Oof. Yeah, is it? Obviously, I'm not somebody who's very well versed in psychology, but it wasn't right around Vietnam War when people really started to understand PTSD and what it really was. Before that, it was like shell shock, I think was the term that was mostly used. But PTSD wasn't something that was really well known until the 70s and wasn't really even slightly treated the same way it is today. I feel like PTSD, a lot of people throw it around the same way they throw around anxiety or depression. I've had one little bad thing happen to me when I was younger, so now I have PTSD. But this day and age, I feel like a lot more people understand what it is. There's also this, if you're in the ADF, let me know, or if you're not Australian and you were in the military, let me know. Is there this preconceived notion from a lot of civilians that you, because you served in the military, you already by default have PTSD? Because I've heard that from somebody before, and I don't know whether or not that was just his personal experience or if this is something that's actually quite common for people in the military, is that a lot of civilians will just assume by default, whether you've been diagnosed or not, that you have PTSD because you've been in the military. But yeah, whether it was Vietnam, whether it was Iraq, Afghanistan, even people signed up so young. You sign up, your brain isn't even fully developed. I feel like I've said this in like a couple of videos recently, your brain isn't even fully developed until you're in your mid-20s. And then you have young people, 18, 19, 20 years old, who are signing up for the military, who are undergoing these really tough experiences. And then if you're deployed to a war zone, what in the world is that doing to your head? What is that doing to your psyche? And what for? Like, why are we doing this? What is the purpose? I feel like a lot of people throw out this blanket purpose of, oh, you're defending your country. Are you? Seriously, so much respect to the ADF, so much respect to anybody who's in the American military, because even though I'm here in Australia, they're protecting, for lack of a better word, they're protecting my friends and family back over in the States as well. And the countries are allies. So it's not like it's two countries that are at war with each other. That would be a little bit intense to imagine. But yeah, I've rambled quite a bit. We're less than halfway through this song, and I'm not looking forward to finishing this song, you guys. I gotta say, it's a great song. It's a brilliant song. The music video is haunting, but yeah, I'm a sucker, so I'm not looking forward to finishing this.
When each step could mean your last one on two legs, it was a war within yourself.
Each step could mean your last one on two legs. Damn, you don't think about that. But yeah, once in a while somebody will say something that seems so obvious, but they just put it into a new perspective and it just hits you like...
But you wouldn't take your mates down till they had you dusted off. So you close your eyes and thought about something else. And then someone yelled out, "Contact!" And the bloke behind me swore. We walked in there for hours, then it got all muddy raw. And Frankie kicked to mind the day that mankind kicked the moon. God help me. Going home in June.
Damn. Oh, if anybody's seen the TV show MASH, it just popped in my head. Does anybody remember the first colonel that was there? Henry something, I can't remember his last name. Was like the colonel of the show for a few seasons before they brought in Colonel Potter. Was a little bit of a doofus, really funny guy. Tried to make things like orderly, but it just would not work out. He did not take things super seriously. He was going home, like was on his way home, and something happened to the helicopter. I don't know if it was attacked, I don't know if it was a machine malfunction, but he died in the helicopter on the way to the airport, on the way to go home. Oh my god. I know MASH took place in Korea, but it was actually supposed to be a reflection of what was going on in the 70s, the 60s and 70s in Vietnam. And you hear stories like that, and like they were just so close. And even though it's fictional, it's also real. And man, that just it twists your guts in a way. Like it's tough to describe, but damn.
Hotel on 36-hour weekly in Buntown. I could still see Frankie lying screaming in the jungle till the morphine came and killed the bloody row. And the Anzac legends didn't mention mud and blood and tears, and the stories that my father told me never seemed quite real. I caught some pieces in my back that I didn't even feel. God help me. I was only 19.
Oof. Ooh, that visual impact from this last scene, just looking back at your younger self like that. Now, I'm only 31, I've pointed that out in a few videos before, and I feel like it's something that a lot of younger people don't fully comprehend. They see somebody older, and I'm talking older like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. People who've lived a pretty full life up until that point. And they don't see that life. They don't see what that other person might have gone through, seeing these generational shifts, living through things like the Vietnam War, through the Iraq and Afghanistan War, and even older, the Korean War. There's probably very, very few vets who are still around from World War II. Probably barely a handful at this point. But they've lived a life. Like, they've lived a long life, and a lot of younger people just see them as an older person. Like, oh, that sweet old lady, or that bitter old man that's telling kids to get off their lawn. They don't fully understand what it's like to start seeing generational shifts. I'm only just understanding it now. Somebody who's 31, seeing Gen Z get a little bit older, and people my age, millennial age, having kids who are now going into like kindergarten and year one and whatnot. So it's a little bit haunting, and I can only imagine what it's like being like 70, 80 years old to have these types of experiences that are so invisible to younger people and the younger generation. And yet at the same time, to see those younger generations making the exact same mistakes, for lack of a better word, that you did when you were younger, or that you've seen friends and family make when they were younger. And I'm not just talking about signing up for the military. I'm talking about any sort of mistakes. This song digs up so much. Like, even just beyond the military, beyond the war, Yeah, anyway, it's almost done. We're almost there. Almost finished. Man, this is making... Like, this is one of those songs, it shakes you up. I'm not going to forget about this for a long time. So, song's almost over, you guys. I don't know medals and whatnot were, if you know, let me know in the comments down below, but were the people they just had in the last few seconds of this clip, were they Vietnam vets? Is that what the medals stood for? I don't know. Like I said, I never grew up in a military family. I don't know much about the military at all. So I don't know if the people that they had in there were Vietnam vets. Obviously, they could have been actors, but I mean, maybe it was supposed to symbolize something. I don't know what the medals stand for, but it's, again, kind of haunting to see the older reflecting on the younger a little bit. That's one of the haunting things about this song, too. Particularly with this music video playing along with it. Not just the song, but seeing the music video. It's having a different impact than just listening to the lyrics itself. Oof. Such an emotional song. Such a heavy impact. I think it would have had a different reaction had I just watched a video that only had the lyrics playing. I might have been able to focus a little bit more on the song itself. Sorry, it did seem like I was going off on quite a few tangents here. But there's so much when you're unpacking the lyrics and the visuals as well, because this music video was so incredibly well done. The video by itself, even if you had a different song to it, even if you just had like classical music or nothing behind it and you just had the silence, the impact that this music video would have made is huge on its own. And then to mix it with these hauntingly sad, beautiful, tragic lyrics, both of them strike a chord, and they strike a chord in a different way. And I think maybe I was focusing a lot on the visual in this and maybe a little bit less on the song. But something about those visuals is haunting. I know people who've had PTSD. I know people who've been through the Vietnam War and had PTSD. In fact, this is, obviously, I didn't meet them in person. This was a little bit of a story that was passed down to me. My aunt, who passed away when I was 5, was dating somebody in the American Army who had gone through the Vietnam War. And he had pretty severe PTSD, and they'd been dating for a while, but she broke up with him because one night he was having night terrors, and he actually woke her up and just like picked her up and threw her down on the floor and then covered her like there was a grenade or something that was just thrown into the room. It scared the hell out of her, and she always wanted kids, but she didn't feel safe at that point having kids with somebody who wasn't able to control that. And it's so tragic. It's absolutely devastating to hear something like that, but that's so common after the Vietnam War. I think that's when PTSD was really brought forth in the public eye. It became a little bit more common, a little bit more understanding, and since like Iraq and Afghanistan, it's become very common, almost to the point that people don't really understand it anymore and now seem to think that anybody and everybody has PTSD, which is a little bit frustrating. I cannot stand people who sit there and self-diagnose constantly. It's, my God, it's very agitating, but that's a tangent for a different day. Yes, with a beautiful song. Thank you to everybody who recommended this. There were dozens and dozens of people in the comments who had recommended this song. It's absolutely haunting. It's beautiful. And this is something that resonates beyond Australia as well. Obviously, there are Australian references. It was written by an Aussie. But this is one of those songs where it transcends just one country and one culture. This is something that pretty much everybody can resonate with. It's haunting. It's beautiful. Thank you guys for recommending it. And this is one of those songs that is definitely going to be in my head for a while. Not necessarily because the lyrics are stuck in my head, but it's one of those songs that's haunting and it's going to stick with you for a while. But that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. It really, really does help support me and help support this channel, you guys. And if there's any videos that you guys recommend, pop over to my Discord. A few people in Discord had recommended this, which is one of the reasons why I also wanted to react to it as well, because a few people over there had actually recommended this. So I know if one person recommends one video, it's probably going to be interesting, but if I have a couple people over there popping over and saying they want me to see something on top of the dozens and dozens of comments, I know you guys really want me to react to this. So thank you guys over at Discord for suggesting these videos as well. I really, really do appreciate it. For this video, you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.